The Everton team Kirk Sheridan built, that's me, finished 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League. We are champions. But Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti is retiring in less than 2 weeks. The future for this director of football may lay outside England, but can I take manager of the year Antony Clarke with me? Strap in, my excellent friends, this will be a busy summer. Looking back at our many outstanding signings, Veloso was the pick of the bunch. Joined us in January, played 18 times, 7 goal contributions, 7.09 rating, doubled in value to up to £58 million. Shout out to Andreas Schelderup as well, 14 starts and 11 goal contributions, made a huge difference in the run-in. And commiserations go to Fabian Rieder, our highest profile departure, left for Real for £29 million and started twice. A £30 million bench warmer. Commercially, we are making great progress. Sponsorship up £13 million on last year. Ben McNamee, Adrian Orteza, Tamindu Bruce Smith and Joel Vico all making their way into the Everton all-time best 11. So next year, the board want us to increase our commercial revenue further by signing and using players who bring a merchandising boost. They're still pragmatic about the league though. They want a top half finish, but win the FA Cup within 2 years and be officially recognised as the best of the rest within 5. Gotta be honest, we might be there with that already. 5th, 4th and 1st in our 3 seasons back in the Premier League. It's a clean sweep for Everton players in the Young Player of the Month award after that phenomenal run-in. Markovic in 3rd place, Soares in 2nd, but Bruce Smith, 5 appearances and a 7.28 rating through May, helping us to 4 clean sheets. And in fact, looking back, just 1 goal conceded in our final 6 matches of the season. What a defence. Clarke picks up the Manager of the Month award as well. I should think so too. And at 8 o'clock on the 1st of June 2030, the managerial merry-go-round begins. Tuchel resigns from Arsenal. Apparently, his departure was agreed by mutual consent. And the media predict Klopp is next in line for the sack. And indeed he is. Less than 2 hours later, Liverpool are looking for a new manager. Ancelotti goes out on a high though, with Real beating Liverpool in the Champions League final, instigating that Klopp sacking. That is 2 top-tier jobs now available, but both in England. Not really that attractive, to be honest. The Everton board seemingly desperate to keep hold of me though, with our chairperson injecting £21.5 million to cover debt incurred this season. Seriously, Mr. Mate, look at my track record. I'm quite good at selling players for a profit, and as the transfer window opens on the 9th of June, that is exactly what I intend to do. While I am still here at Everton, it's all about building a phenomenal team for Antony Clarke's next season. First through the door is an 18-year-old wonder kid we have signed for his homegrown at club potential, Joaquin Jimenez. He is a little bit injury prone. He does need to improve his consistency, but we signed him for £3.5 million and he is now valued up to 70. Natural leader, this lad is going to be here for many years and a permanent fixture in the team, I have absolutely no doubt. But in potentially catastrophic news, Rule 9 of Moneyball strikes. If any club offers more than a player's market value, I have to sell. That's the Director of Moneyball rules. Look in the description down below for more information. Southampton are offering up to £39.5 million for our club captain, Joel Vico. His agent saying he has absolutely no interest in speaking to Southampton, so hopefully that worked in our favour, but I have no option. I must accept this offer. And this is it. The sun sets on Carlo Ancelotti's career, and the Real Madrid job is available. Let's apply immediately, and we'll absolutely declare our interest as well, going all in on this opportunity. Honestly, the potential for a Moneyball overhaul at Real Madrid is immense. They have 16 players aged 27 or more. They are the home of the Galacticos, Spanish champions 7 years in a row. But just imagine if I could apply Moneyball principles here, buying players to sell for a profit while maintaining that incredible level of success. Media say that I'm not considered to have any chance of getting the job. Well, I beg to differ. I've just won the Premier League as Everton's Director of Football. Real Madrid need me now. In the meantime, rumours of a takeover persist at Everton. Intriguing. And Manchester United allegedly are stepping up the chase for Matt Whittles. Well, 41 million is not going to cut it. You will need to offer at least 51. A couple of days later, it's a real shame to see the Everton board issue a press release stating that they are disappointed in my public interest in joining Real Madrid. Look at what we have accomplished since I joined this football club. First place in the Championship after a slow and steady decline had got them relegated the year before I joined. Fifth, fourth and now first, qualifying for the Champions League every single year that we've been in the Premier League. If anybody should be disappointed, it's me. They should be wishing me all the very best for the future and thanking me for my incredible service. In a most unexpected turn of events though, Man City have offered £70 million for Penoff, and I've had to accept. 19 clean sheets last season in the league. I need to find a new goalkeeper again. And just to rub it in, Real Madrid fans are laughing at me. They categorically dismiss Kirk Sheridan's interest in the job, stating that the club should not be considering his application and will instead continue to appraise other candidates for the post. You don't know what you're missing out on. Come on board. Don't listen to those fans. Trust me. Vico rejects the offer from Southampton though. Excellent news. We are facing stiff competition though for Walter Kano, another 18-year-old centre-back with exceptional potential. He is a little short for a stormtrooper, central defender, but Inter, Monaco, Spurs, Newcastle and Man City all think he's worth a punt, just as we do. And we're steadily rising up those European club rankings. Everton now the 58th best club in the whole of Europe. Raresh Penoff will not be here next season to see us climb that ranking further though. He is confirmed to be joining Manchester City for a fee of £70 million. That's a £13 million profit. That's great, but I thought he was my forever goalkeeper. Oh, this one hurts. There we go. Back to the goalkeeper drawing board. And complete silence from Real Madrid. So frustratingly, we've lost out on Kano. He is joining Manchester City because he believes that their squad is much stronger than ours. 16 points we finished ahead of them last year. Are you sure, Walter? No bother, we still have plenty of options and £113 million to spend now. Our outgoing business continues. Lille now activating their optional clause on Smolcic, £6 million fee, and Marseille are happy to stump up £32 million for Malero, who we paid less than 13 for. Thank you very much. But Malero snubs Marseille. The contract offer apparently not good enough. Well, he's only our fourth best left winger, so let's offer him out and see who takes. It's now the 25th of June. The season is officially ticked over and the board are confirming their expectations. They want a quarter-final minimum in the FA Cup and they're expecting us to win the Community Shield. That all feels doable, but still nothing from Real Madrid. But on the 30th of June, with contracts expiring, we get some exceptional outgoing transfer news. Having sold Charlie Patino to Valencia a couple of years ago for a staggering £20 million after we'd picked him up on a free and he started once for us in the league, we're now due almost £5 million, 30% of the transfer fee as he moves from Valencia to Betis. The greatest Moneyball deal of all time. Fact. Svetkovic moves to Ajax for £16 million, which does represent a tiny profit on the fee that brought him to us a couple of years ago. The Smolcic deal is confirmed, as is Vinicius' transfer to West Ham. He does represent a loss, but given he's 30 years old and his value is declining, £12.5 million, still a fantastic deal. And a day later, after his contract expires with PSG, Warren Zaire-Emery joins us for absolutely nothing. He does have some potential, but his current ability is lacking. Yes, we're paying him quite a lot, but I think he'll be a useful squad player and, crucially, another potential Moneyball pure profit signing. And I'll tell you what, the Everton board are serious about taking this club into the new era. We already have the best staffing team in the entire Premier League, and they're letting me increase the size of that team further. 3 more coaches, an extra recruitment analyst, and 6 more scouts. Let's put some adverts out. Let's put some adverts out. It's taken until the 3rd of July, but Real have finally got back to me. My application has been unsuccessful. I did not make the shortlist. But they would like to place on record they feel I would have been an acceptable fit for the club's ambitious vision for the future because of my deep commitment towards signing first-team players no older than 23. Yes, I really would have been. Okay, so Real is off the table, but you know what? I'm still really keen to move abroad. Arsenal and Liverpool aren't really interesting for me, but I want to make that step up to at least a 4.5-star club. We have amazingly taken Everton into that league, but I need one more challenge as the director of Moneyball. The question is, where will it be? There is something else going on that might influence my final destination this summer. It's called the World Cup. You may have heard of it. Everton's very own Tamindu Bruce Smith just played 90 minutes in the quarter-final as Spain were beaten 3-1 by England. England now moving into a semi-final against either France or Holland. But I'm not bothered about these results. What interests me is the growing number of precarious and insecure international management posts. This could trigger an entire cascade of managerial movement and open up a whole load of jobs that are not currently on this list. Here is hoping. In the meantime, Borussia Dortmund have offered £35 million for Matt Whittles. As previously discussed, Rule 9 clearly stipulates we accept offers above their market value, and Whittles has already risen £5 million in about the last 3 weeks. So 55 million please, Borussia, or you're not having him. However, Adrian Ortega is under a £25 million offer from Wolves. He's in the final year of his contract. I would snap him up for a long-term deal, but his agent is not having any of it. He wants us to consider any and all offers we receive for him. And that is exactly what we are doing. He's wanted by many clubs. He's already turned down a couple of moves. But considering we signed him for £7 million, if we can sell him for 25, what a Moneyball profit that would be. It is Monday, the 8th of July. The players have returned from holiday. They are back for pre-season training. And I have immediately upset Luka Sucic by offering him out for transfer. Why would I offer him out, I hear you ask? 21 starts, 10 substitute appearances in the league last year, 6 goals from central midfield. Key player, right? Well, yes, also 27 years old, and I would like to sell him before he starts to decline in value. Problem is, he loves it here, so I have had to promise him that actually we're going to keep him after all for the next 12 months. Just don't mention that last part to him. In exceptional news, Markovic has signed a new 5-year deal. £150,000 a week for an important player whose physical and mental attributes are just off the charts. He joined us for just £6 million a couple of years ago, and since then he has been an absolute revelation, particularly towards the end of last season when he finally cemented a starting spot in Antony Clarke's team. Selling Kylian Ledoux to Arsenal for £38 million certainly helped open up a spot for him. Dortmund are in again for Whittles, £48.5 million this time, but it's still not enough. Okay, so it's the 10th of July. We're yet to have any incoming business other than Warren Zaire-Emery from PSG. With a commitment to those Moneyball principles, what are the current weaknesses in my first team? Now that we've sold Penn off, I think we can agree we definitely need a goalkeeper. We still haven't managed to get more than a 3-star current ability player at right back, so if one does become available, that is a spot I'd like to fill. Rijsdijk is our standout centre-back. I would like another 4-star option here. And although the rules of Moneyball clearly state don't buy strikers unless absolutely necessary, we don't have anybody rated above 3 stars in that position. So I think this summer I'm on the lookout for a game changer up front. But first up, here is a signing with wonderful profit-making potential. Ollie Jones, just been released by Liverpool, does have 4.5-star potential according to our scouts. So we are picking him up for free. And I have just made a £13.75 million offer for Andrew Lopez, who is a good Premier Division player as a right wing back. Physical ability is absolutely amazing. His stamina, his natural fitness, his agility, acceleration, he is going to pelt up and down that wing. And this could be the signing that shows just how far Kirk Sheridan's Everton have come. He has less interest in joining Paris Saint-Germain than the Toffees. That's how well regarded we are now. Only takes till 2030, Everton fans. Keep dreaming, keep believing. Anything is clearly possible. We will have quite a bloated squad if we don't move some players on though, so here we have a £9.25 million offer from Palmeiras for Anderson Pinot. We paid £11 million for him though. So can we get 13? Yes, we can. Now that we are on the cusp of elite level, true Moneyball signings who are undervalued are proving very, very difficult to come by, especially ones who improve the starting 11 immediately. However, I think I've found one. Magomed Stavtsev from Shakhtar has a release clause of £23 million. He's got an A+ report from our scouts. He's a little bit susceptible to injuries and lacking composure. Consistency needs improving. But at 20 years old, those physical attributes are phenomenal. He can head the ball, he can tackle, his positioning, his bravery. Natural born, no nonsense central defender. What more do you want? And another with a very attractive release clause is Victor Alexandre, who is playing at Sao Paulo. Good Premier Division player currently, could improve a lot. Can play in attacking midfield or, most excitingly for me, up front. Not the best finisher, but we could be looking at a complete forward here, particularly if he can work on putting the ball into the back of the net. And a release clause of less than £16 million. Offers accepted for both Alexandre and Stavtsev, but I cannot stop looking at that number 9 spot on our team sheet. We're even lacking significant long-term potential in this position. And with Orteza on the way out, Soares really a midfielder rather than a striker? I think this now is a necessity, and I am drawn to do something quite remarkable. Emre Tezgel is valued at £65 to £82 million, which to be honest looks like pretty remarkable value compared to the other players of his ability level that we've been scouting recently. And it doesn't hurt that he scored 45 goals in the last 2 seasons in the Premier League for Stoke City. He was part of the England team that has just finished the World Cup as runners-up to Italy. So close. Tezgel not making it off the bench in the final, even though he's played a lot better than Dane Scarlett has over the last couple of years. Incidentally, Everton's Tamindu Bruce-Smith, the second best player in the entire World Cup. Thank you very much. And there we go. On the 15th of July, we have had a club record transfer deal of £80 million accepted by Stoke for Emre Tezgel. 80 million quid. But obviously he would come in straight away as the best striker we have by a country mile. Bit of a shame he has more interest in joining Chelsea and Tottenham then. Good luck us. What did I tell you about that merry-go-round though? Stefano Pioli has just joined Arsenal as their manager, which means that he has created a vacancy at Borussia Dortmund. It's a Dortmund who only finished 5th in the league last year, but have wonderful facilities and youth recruitment, and have £500 million in the bank. Is there any other club out there right now more ripe for a Moneyball rebuild than Borussia Dortmund? Applied. Kompany is the leading candidate. Vincent Kompany, who is currently manager of AC Milan. Well, Vincent, we'll see about that because you are up against the Director of Moneyball here. Stefano Pioli immediately trying to drive a wedge between the two of us, though. The day after he's joined Arsenal, he's immediately bid £75 million plus for Tezgel. We want him. Get out of the way, Pioli. And my Everton board are disappointed again, issuing another press release. One of their complaints is not only that I'm interested in joining Dortmund, but also they would only be obliged to pay a very affordable compensation fee, meaning they're pretty powerless to prevent me from leaving. Mr. Bailey May, Everton chairman, you are currently paying me £35,500 a week. Roger Schmidt at Newcastle, who finished 11 points behind us last year as runners-up in the Premier League, is on £155,000, so you know who to blame for this. It's certainly not me. While we wait to hear back from Dortmund, the Everton Moneyball transfer treadmill continues. Andrew Lopez has signed. We now have a 4-star right back, and I cannot tell you how pleased I am about this. Signed for nearly £14 million, valued up to 63. And Alexandre is on the way in as well, just as soon as his work permit's been approved. But most joyful of all, unlike those pesky Real Madrid fans, Dortmund are flattered by my interest and have admitted the club would be foolish not to consider someone of my calibre for the manager job, director of football job, just to clarify, director of football, and that they would be stepping up their supports should I indicate a willingness to enter discussions. Well, this is very exciting and does bode pretty well for an interview, I think, hopefully. What on earth is this, though? Out of absolutely nowhere, the England Football Association have offered me the chance to become England manager. Well, this is interesting. This is a squad that's just finished runners-up in the World Cup. How would this even work as director of football? I guess it would almost be a kind of cricket situation. I'd be the selector. I'd choose the squad and I would let my assistant manager pick the team, specify the tactics, handle the training, as usual. This might work. So here, my excellent friends, we have an almighty twist to the Director of Moneyball series that I did not see coming. I am also now the Director of England, and I have a staff all set up and ready to go. Steve Holland, current assistant manager. Steve Holland, eh? I think you can see where I might be going with my thought process here. Steve, I'm sure you would have done a fine job, but you are not the assistant manager for me. There is only one person I could possibly choose to join me, the Director of England, as our head coach. Antony Clarke, my most excellent friend. Oh, yes. Yes! Amazing news! Antony Clarke is now the England manager! Current English Premier Division Manager of the Year, winner of the league with Everton in 2030. All I'm going to do for him is pick the squad. The rest, Antony, is over to you. Could you be the first England manager to win a World Cup since Sir Alf Ramsey? And speaking of Sir Alf Ramsey, you know what? He's just won the Premier League. He's just become England boss. If that doesn't deserve a knighthood for a new gen staff member, nothing does. Arise, Sir Antony Clarke. Back to Everton, and Alexandre is confirmed. He is joining us for a fee of £15.75 million, and incredibly, Emre Tezgel is joining him. He will be the highest paid player at the club, £210,000 a week. But we've beaten Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs to his signature. Just look how many goals he scored over the last couple of years, and 11 assists as well. With the creativity of players like Oteza, Bruce Smith, Soares, Veloso, Markovic, McNamee around him, he could get an absolute bucket full of goals next year. New England boss Antony Clarke certainly believes in his impact and is hoping he can make a big contribution. One player who won't get to see it though is it Koskan. Now that we have signed a 4-star right back, Koskan is on the move to Napoli for £35 million, which is a very tidy £15 million profit. Oteza is stalling though. He's rejected contracts from Napoli, Brentford, Leicester and Hamburg. Still committed to exploring his options at the end of his contract though, so I don't have a choice. We have to transfer list him. But the starting 11 upgrade continues. Stavtsev now, application for work permit is in. He might well be joining as our best central defender. Pinot does finally get his move away, and we actually get a better deal from it than I initially thought. This one could go up to £16 million. He's on his way to Frankfurt. And Malero is joining Real Madrid for an eye-watering £340,000 a month fee, plus 100% of his wages, plus an optional fee of £38 million. He made 2 starts for us in the Premier League the year before last, and managed 8 at Marseille last season. You could have had me, Real Madrid. I was there for the taking, and I can promise you I would not have made a stupid decision like this. But just as I am getting super excited about all of this transfer business we're finishing off at Everton, Dortmund have asked me to interview. Can I explain why I've never managed in the country? Well, no one's asked me to. This is the best chance I've had, and I hope to be given the opportunity. Why have I only worked with a small selection of teams? Because I am loyal to every club I have managed, and I promise you I would bring that here. How will I handle managing a club and a national team at the same time? To be honest, I'm not going to be managing either of them. I have very capable assistants who I delegate a significant number of tasks to. So with that in mind, I am very confident in my ability to handle both roles. I think I might have to promise them that I'll attend some press conferences. Hopefully won't be for too long. As ever, I would have to promise I'll work with the Director of Football. Normally it's only for 180 days, and they'll basically be on gardening leave the whole time. And here's the really interesting one. What kind of budget would I need to bring together my backroom team? Well, obviously, I need a little bit, because if we go to Germany a certain Mr. Clarke is going to come with me. And how do I feel about the transfer budget? Well, given my exceptional ability to sell players for profit, I think I could probably make do with a little bit less and get a few more resources from the squad that we have available right now. And slightly smaller wage budget. That's it. Over to Dortmund. And I've got a really difficult decision to make if they do come back with a job offer. What do? Because this is the best Everton team I've ever seen. Stavtsev joins as well, so that's an even stronger central defence. The only place we're lacking is in goal. Oh, goodness me, my excellent friends, it's the 30th of July, and I'm now favourite for the Dortmund job. And it's really happening. They're asking me if I'd like to make any backroom staff changes. No! Antony Clarke has a desire to remain in the region where he currently lives and doesn't want to move to Borussia Dortmund. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Buddy, this is you and me. You and me for life. I will always value our time together, value everything we've accomplished together. But that is not going to stop me becoming Borussia Dortmund's new director of football. 63 million transfer budget, a wage budget almost £2 million a week higher than I've been using at Everton, an 81,000 capacity stadium, incredible facilities. Dortmund's general manager saying that he can't wait to get started. My excellent friends, neither can I. Are we going to topple Bayern Munich as the director of football? Who will our new assistant manager be? And of course, it's not goodbye to Antony Clarke, because there's still the small matter that I'm now director of England. Could we win an unprecedented quadruple? A World Cup, a Champions League, a German League and Cup double, all in one season? There's only one way to find out. Come back soon and join me on this amazing journey. I'm Kirk Sheridan. Thank you so much for watching.